right.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Another Sunday, another day at Life Church. We've decided to call our Sunday night videos Sunday Budget Smackdown. Sunday Budget Smackdown.
Woo woo.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
So tonight, party. Tonight we're going to answer a question.
Yep. It's a good question.
What's the question?
You have the question.
Oh, it's right here in front of me. We have a question.
What's from?
This YouTube.
Oh, can you read it?
Yeah, CMCGHEE 10. So whatever that stands for, that's perfectly fine.
Yes. Thank you for sending in your question.
Yes, greatly appreciated. The question is, what if you have an expense that is not monthly, but every other month? How do you set aside money for that in your envelope? Mm-hmm. So we actually have one thing that we have bi-monthly. Mm-hmm. Her hair.
Right.
This gorgeous, beautiful hair. Awesome. It costs money to look that good. You know what I'm saying?
So glad he thinks I'm beautiful.
Oh, yes, I do. So that cost $70 every 2 months. So the best way to handle that, especially if you have a fixed income, if you know exactly what you're getting every month,
right,
to work that into your budget, go ahead and divide it in two, $35. And you put $35 in the envelope this month that you're just not going to use. You've got an envelope. You can write on there whatever it is that your expense is. Haircuts. You put it in that envelope, and then you don't touch that part of it at all. So you have budget for, we have budget for haircuts, for my haircut.
Yours is every month, and then I have 2 boys, and they trade off. So it's always him and always one boy, and then I need $35.
Yes. So then that way we have that money, which is really cool because now we have, the 2 boys who one gets a haircut this month, one gets a haircut that month. But for us, it's a simple one payment in the budget every month goes in the envelope.
Right.
But for her, we treat it the same way. $35 in the budget every month, especially if you have a fixed income. You don't know, if you're ever going to have extra money, so let's go ahead and work it out now.
Right. Put
it in the budget, half of it. Now, let's say it's an expense that, this is a good question because you may have an expense like, let's say car tags or license plate renewal.
It's
it may be,
it's
not every other month, it's once a year.
Right.
So what do? Okay, we know when that time comes, we're not going to have an extra. Let's say it's $100. Let's say it's $200. Whatever kind of car you have, or whatever your state charges, because some states are expensive to renew your registration. So let's say it's $200. Well, then what you need to do, if you have a fixed income, is you just need to divide that by 12. And you need to start putting that money in an envelope titled car tags, just for that. And every month you put in the amount of money that you need in that envelope so that when you get to the end of the 12 months... Exactly. But you're saying, that's going to renew in 6 months. Well, just do the math.
Divide it into 6.
Divide it by 6.
Whatever it is, just divide it by however many months.
That's right. And if you have trouble with the math, just ask your kids. They'll figure it out for you.
They'll grab a calculator.
They'll grab their phone and they'll go, Mom, I got this.
Let me just teach you how to do this.
I'll be like, oh, stop. Do it in your head. Do it in your head. So.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. Anything else you want to talk about tonight? I don't know. Smackdown.
That was a little anticlimactic.
It was, wasn't it?
Smackdown.
Like budget Smackdown. There's really no Smackdown.
Well, there's no Smackdown in budgeting. Not in budgeting.
Not in budgeting.
But But it is exciting when you start to see progress.
Yes, the progress is phenomenal.
Hang in there.
You know, because we were talking about last time that we had the emergency fund. You see our emergency fund video. Yes. We tell the story of our emergency fund. The thing that can be, I want to talk about this for a second. Discouragement. Everybody gets discouraged at some point in time, and they're like, "Oh, let's just order a pizza and just eat and eat and drink some soda, and we don't care where the..."
Why is it always food with us?
I don't know. It's always food.
So anyway,
some people are like, let's just buy a pair of shoes.
Right.
Let's just go buy that shirt. But you get discouraged at some point along the way, and you need to just stay focused on moving forward.
Yes.
Moving it forward, pressing it forward. When we had to touch our emergency fund, cut that puppy in half, well, we just stopped our debt snowball and starting the emergency fund again until it's caught back up.
That.
Once it's caught back up, that's baby step 1. Then we go right back to baby step 2. The nice thing about it is that along the way, if you get discouraged, we start talking about the things that are going to help us, the things that are exciting about what's going to move it forward faster. Yeah. You know, like
so you're saying we talk about that stuff a lot instead of dwelling on the negative?
Yeah, don't dwell on the negative. Yeah. We start talking about the positive things of what are going to be the choices and the decisions that we're making over the next 6 months that are going to impact our budgeting in a huge way.
What is the grand finale, what we're going to get out of it?
Yes, exactly. And
dream big.
For me, it's always exciting to know what that next large number is going to be that we're going to be able to start putting on the snowball.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like
because that step is a lot closer than being debt free.
Exactly. So you look at the next thing that's going to be exciting.
Right.
Because if you start looking at your student loans, and you're like, we're never going to get out of this hole.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's not fun.
No.
That's discouraging.
So you just say, what's the next thing that's going to happen that's going to be exciting?
Yes.
The nice thing is we're going to sell her van and we're going to have $342 a month that we're going to lay the smack down. How's that? Was that better?
That was better. Oh.
Yes, and we're talking about, see, this is the thing. If you want to get out of debt with gazelle intensity,
yes,
you got to get serious about choices. We're talking about at some point moving out of this rent house that we're in, because I think we can get out of this one into maybe one that's just a little bit smaller, maybe at a different location, and we could probably save $300 a month in rent.
Yeah, $200 to $300.
Which we can then take that $300 and then we can start smacking down the debt even harder and pumping through that even faster.
Yeah, and I think before we were doing this, doing the Dave Ramsey thing, we would be like, well, first of all, we wouldn't want to go into any place cheaper.
Yeah.
But if we did, then it would be like, oh, we've got so much more breathing room, and we've got, we can actually we'll be able to get this. And right now, we're at like, no, we can put all that to the debt snowball. Like, that's where our extra money goes.
Because some people get a little breathing room and they get excited about going to the mall.
Right.
Or going to Best Buy.
Yeah, that can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
Let me just tell one story before we quit.
This is good.
Okay, so we were at the mall, and I was supposed to go to be able to exchange some clothes that I got online at Children's Place for huge deals, mind you. I'm shopping and I had a budget for it.
Yes.
We had an envelope for it.
We had a budget.
Have an envelope for it.
Yes.
Anyway, so, but they were the wrong size, so I had to exchange it, and I had to do it at a retail store. So we go to the mall, and he's with me, and it's like, I've pushed it to the last minute, so it's right around supper time. I know, I'm bad at that. So then we realized that it's not at the mall that we're at. It's at another mall, which is 10 minutes away or something.
20 minutes away.
Oh.
15, 20 minutes away.
Anyway, so
yes.
I'm at a time crunch, like, the next few days. Like, I needed to get it done. And I'm like, when else am I going to do it? I plan to do it now. This is messing my whole thing up. And Chuck's like, well, I mean, I guess that means we have to go to Cane's Chicken. And,
any excuse, right?
Yeah, because the mall that I'd have to go to is right beside one of our favorite restaurants, Cane's Chicken. Raising Cane's.
If you guys don't live around a Raising Cane's Chicken, then you're
missing out on the cane sauce. But
yeah.
Anyway,
it's my weakness.
So we're both thinking, okay, where can we steal from? Like, what do we have money left here? And I'm like, I didn't use all my makeup money budget. Maybe we can use that, but it's not going to pay for everything. And I'm really trying to make it work, and I want to get this shopping thing done so I don't have to do it by myself later on. And he just looks at me and he's like, honey, we've got our frozen pizzas, because it was our Friday night pizza party. We've got our frozen pizzas at home. We've got plenty of food there. You can make it work later. We don't need to spend the extra money. And it was just, like, initially it was kind of hard, because I didn't want to wait, like, to do the shopping thing. And, of course, I love Raising Cane's Chicken. But then it kind of felt good. It was like, no, we're making a good decision, and we're saving that money. And if I have extra money, then we'll just put it more towards the debts that we have. And
yes.
Stuff. So,
anyway. It feels good. That's the thing. It feels really good when you make the right decision.
It really does. It's hard.
It's hard, but once you make it,
good right after.
Yeah, you feel really good that
really
you feel proud of yourself.
Yes,
that you made
the
right choice.
The more right decisions you make, the easier it's going to get. So you just have to bite the bullet.
That's true. The more right decisions you make, the easier this thing gets.
Yeah.
We are, how many days into this now? We are 120 days into this thing, and we've seen some good progress. We've seen some things happen. We've seen
our attitudes changing.
Yes, our attitudes changed.
We're getting on the same page, which is a miracle. It's nice.
I'm just saying, if you can be on the same page.
I mean, not completely, but...
But if you can get on the same page...
Yeah, we're not on the same line.
But it's the same page.
Yeah.
Before, when we started, we weren't on the same. We weren't in the same book.
I think we described it as I still had a leg and an arm outside of the boat.
Yes.
Trying to paddle back to shore.
Yes, but now we're on the same page, and we're getting closer to the same mind frame.
Yes.
And when you can both get on the same mind frame, then it's easier, it's quicker, it's faster. Mm-hmm. The decision making is better. The budgeting becomes easier. Everything is it's so much easier at that moment.
Yes,
now, I will say this, and if you're watching, and I'm telling this story about you, there's somebody out there right now who is struggling to get on the same page because you are the free spirit.
Oh.
Okay? The nerd, it's so easy in day one. We get so excited and juiced up about, we're going to have numbers and there's going to be charts and it's going to be great. And
envelopes for each.
It's going to be awesome. We'll get all this together and it all works because it mathematically comes together. And the free spirit is like, no, I can't. I'm spending money. Or I'm going to go do this.
Or I forgot to take the money out of the bank. Or I don't have my envelope with me, but I'm not going to wait. I'm going to get it now. And
yeah.
That kind of stuff.
If you're the free spirit, I will say this, and I've watched this in her, and I know we were talking with some friends, one of them's the free spirit this last week, and it's a struggle for people who are the free spirit. It's a tough road for you to buckle down and say, let's make this happen. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you what, I've watched a change in her that has been very encouraging. And I want you to know that if you're the free spirit and you are struggling with this process of budgeting and this process of buckling down and not spending money freely and just having it to blow or having it to be encouraged that there are rewards when you start making these good decisions. There are rewards that come.
Yeah.
What you're used to is the instant gratification, that instant reward. Oh, I feel good. I bought this. I've got that. But what happens is you start down this road and you make the hard choices as the free spirit, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. For us nerds, we see the light in the numbers.
Already? Oh.
The numbers.
Okay.
We see the light ahead of time. We're like, oh, this is cool because it's going to work out.
Right.
But the free spirit can't immediately picture that. Even when we put it on paper sometimes, it was hard for you to see, how's this going to work? You know, well, I see that we have a budget this month, but how is that going to make me feel good about our debt 6 months from now? And you just keep rolling through it, keep pushing, and don't give your nerd too much hard time. And she hasn't. She's been wonderful. But I'm just saying this because I know there are free spirits out there who are just giving grief to your nerds. That's making it very difficult for you guys to come together on this.
Yes.
And if you can come together on this and get on the same page, then you can lay the smack down.
He's going to try to get that out anytime. Anyway, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with this, so
that's
let me
okay.
Just add to
this.
Add to it. Real quick, and then we can stop.
Yeah, we're done.
I thought you were going to say there are rewards. So the reward that I started getting is honestly, when I started making right decisions more and more and getting on the same page with him, it's been a blessing to our marriage because it was really tough for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not like we were fighting all the time, but I mean, it was just there was
that was
struggle.
the old days.
Yeah, that was the very beginning of our marriage.
That was year number what? 6, 7, 6 and 7.
6 and 7. I don't know. Anyway, but it's made this process a lot easier, which is a different blessing other than financially. It's like a blessing in our marriage. So there are many different kinds of blessings you can get by
True story.
Bunkering down.
Hunkering down.
Hunkering down.
Buckling down.
Buckling down.
Or hunkering down.
That's what it was. Okay.
If you're hiding, you're going to hunker. If you're going to get after it, you're going to buckle.
Okay.
Buckle down.
Buckling down.
Yes.
To, yeah. I don't even know what I was saying. So.
You were bunkering down.
I was bunkering.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So, anyway.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
See ya. Have a good whatever.